Hey everybody, my name's Mark. Welcome to Mile High Church. Thanks for spending a part of your weekend with us, especially if you're new. Our vision, oneness revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. Before we get started today, we wanted to give you a look at a few things coming up at Mile High Church for you and your family. Celebrate the sacred day of summer solstice at our Labyrinth Walk and Drumming Circle on June 20th. Feel the healing vibrations of crystal bowls alongside drumming and Dr. Patty's Lakota prayer pipe for spiritual grounding. And Denver Pride Parade is on June 23rd. Mile High Church will be representing our LGBTQ+ community led by Reverend Carol. So show your support and sign up to walk in the parade.
So I'm in Zamira's office. Okay, that's no secret because my office is a unique expression of my organizational style. Shame, 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 shame. On my journey, it's taken me a really long time to learn how to feel emotions and how to name them. And I'm still working on it. But for whatever reason, awe isn't really emphasized on the emotion wheel. And apparently awe is really important for mental health and spiritual growth, and that's why I'm very excited to go to the Dacher Keltner event this fall. So Dacher Keltner is coming this fall to talk about his latest book, Awe, the new science of everyday wonder and how it can transform your life. Purchase tickets at the event center or online, and there is early bird pricing. And, it's going to be cool. I hope to see you there, and that's all I have to say about that.
For more information about anything you've heard today, stop by the event center or connect with us online at milehighchurch.org.
Hello, Mile High. Happy Sunday to you. It's so great to see all your beautiful faces this morning. You want to sing with me? Oh, good. I'm so glad you said yes. If you want to stand and sing, that'll be great. You want to stay seated? That's just fine, too. We'll meet each other in the music. How's that? I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. Do you feel that? Do you believe it? Do you know it to be true? Think about it. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. Feels true to me. I cannot do all good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good I can do. I cannot do all good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good I can do. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do. All right, you get to sing it one more time. Sing it like you mean it. I cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good that I can do.
Jennifer Burnett and the Mile High Band. So wonderful to have you all with us this morning. So wonderful to have all of you with us this morning. Welcome everyone here in the Teal Sanctuary and those watching wherever they may be online. This is Mile High Church, where we teach the unity of all life, that there is a golden thread of wisdom that runs through all great faiths, and that the universe is intelligent, that the same divine intelligence that makes the universe is in you and me, and when we use it consciously and intentionally, we can live great lives. And so if you're new here, we're so glad you're here. We have this wonderful thing, we call it a welcome center in the middle of our lobby. You can learn all you want and more about Mile High Church, but we do love to recite a vision and mission each week. It's coming up on our screens. If you want to say it along with me, it goes like this. Our vision, oneness revealed, a world of love, peace, and abundance for all. And our mission, to serve as a spiritual beacon for personal empowerment and global enlightenment. So before we go into our time of spiritual practice, of song, of silence, and a prayer from our own Reverend Jackie, I want to light our memorial candle this morning in honor of a wonderful individual with a servant's heart named Linda Medford, who recently made her transition. She fulfilled so many capacities here at Mile High Church. The one that I knew her in is she scheduled all of our greeters for many, many years here at Mile High. And she was one of the first people I got to know really well when I started here, and so I'm really going to miss Linda. We wish her well. We hold everyone who loves her in our heart today as we celebrate her incredible life by lighting our memorial candle this morning.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the rush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
And we know right now in this space, God is all there is, and that God is all there is beyond this space, into the far reaches of our universe and beyond. God is all there is. It is that power greater than any one of us is, and we can use it. And so on this beautiful Sunday morning in Colorado, with the blue skies and the birds and just all of the joy that is in the atmosphere of this campus today, we really can feel God is all there is. And in this dome, this sacred dome that we share on Sunday mornings and for other events, we know that the spirit of all those who have passed through these doors is here with us, and that includes the beautiful Linda Medford. Knowing that her soul is now into an even greater evolution. And each one of us is moving upward in that spiral. And as we sit here today and feel God within our neighbor that we're sitting next to, those we run into as we leave this space, we know that that spark of God creates that oneness that we all share, no matter what appearances are. The peace of God is my peace, is your peace, is everyone's peace, and how we show up to use it is an individual choice. Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for giving us the opportunity to come together in this place we call Mile High Church, to show up with the love we have for this teaching and for each other, so that we can then leave this space and take it out into the world, and we can be peacemakers in this world. Thank you, God. And so it is.
Pick me up like a paintbrush, God, dip it in the colors of my life. Paint your picture, Father, fashion a heart that is wholly yours. Take your fingers, God, master potter, come mold the clay. Tell your story as you mold me, fashion a heart that is wholly yours. And write your name in the clay. And sign your name on the picture. And write your name in the clay. And sign your name on the picture. Pick me up like a paintbrush, God, dip it in the colors of my life. Paint your picture, Father, fashion a heart that is wholly yours. Take your fingers, God, master potter, come mold the clay. Tell your story as you mold me, fashion a heart that is wholly Take all I am. Take all I am. For I am yours forever and ever. Take all I am. Take all I am. For I am yours forever and ever. Take all I am. Take all I am. For I am yours forever. So come write your name in the clay. Come sign your name on the picture. Come write your name in the clay. Come sign your name on the picture.
Our words of inspiration this morning are from Richard Rohr. I believe that God gives us our soul, our deepest identity, our true self, our unique blueprint, at our own immaculate conception. Our unique little bit of heaven is installed by the manufacturer within the product at the beginning. We are to discover it, choose it, and to live our own destiny to the full. And from Carol Burbank, when we ask what our purpose is, we often default to our goals for doing something important. Whatever version of the American dream we've internalized inevitably shapes that answer. But what if you answered from your soul's calling, that place where doing comes from an expansive space of being, fully present and connected with divine wholeness?
I wanna do what love would do. I wanna feel what love would feel. I wanna go where love would go. Where will it take me? Love only knows. There's only one question that's on my mind. Just what would love do? What would love do now? I wanna know. There's only one question. Anyhow, what would love do now? There's gotta be some kind of way to solve the problems that we share today. There's always something trying to help us through. A light is shining with a simple truth. There's only one question that Can you tell me, please?
What would
Yeah.
love do
Now, there's only one question. Anyhow, what would love do?
What would love do?
What would love do? What would love do now? When your back's against the wall and you're giving it your all. Anyhow, what would love do? What would love do now? When you feel like giving up, yeah. Now, there's only one question. Anyhow, what would love do? What would love do? What would love do now?
Thank you, Jennifer Burnett and Mile High Band. Jennifer, I think you're the most talented person I've ever met in my life. Thank you for continuing to share some of your talent with us here on Sunday. Just magnificent as always. We're so grateful for you. Randy, Bijou, Mike, Rob. As many of you know, the crown jewel of Mile High Church is our youth and family ministry. We're so grateful for all of our kids and those who help them grow up here, from infants all the way through the teenage years. I want to honor Stacy and Salwa and team who are getting ready for Rainbow Day Camp that starts tomorrow. So over 100 kids will be here all week for that. And we get to do something unique today. We're going to honor our preschool staff. We don't always get to see them. We're so grateful that Mile High Church has a preschool on its campus, and it is so well run and well led, creating this environment for kids to grow up in incredible ways. And part of your donations go to support the ongoing work of that school. And they're going to have an open house today if you want to see the beautiful environments that are created. And lastly, I'm so grateful to Nicole Dalby. She lost her dad, Brad, last year, and the way that he used to get her to go to church when she was a kid is she would promise him he would promise her a donut whenever he came here, the sacred holy donut. And so to celebrate that, Nicole has sponsored donuts for everybody here to go over. They'll be in front of there, and we're so grateful for that, and what a great testament to her dad. Have you ever asked the universe a question? Did you get an answer? It is central to our science of mind philosophy is this idea that the universe is intelligent. That the universe, if you'll listen, is talking to you all of the time, giving you messages of depth and of calling. And, like it or not, the universe is listening to you too. So watch out what you ask for. Universe, what's the meaning of life? Universe, what does it mean to truly be loved and to truly be loving? Universe, does my butt make these pants look big? Be careful what you ask the universe. The title of the message today is The Soul's Curriculum. And the point that I want to get to is, as much as we get caught up in everyday life being about fulfilling to-do lists and our busy schedules, that there's something deeper going on. That there's a curriculum the universe has created for our soul based upon our own intentions. And when we clarify a question for the universe, it snaps into action and answers us through relationships, popular culture, epiphanies in the silence. I once asked the universe a question. The question was, whose eyes do I live in? Whose eyes do I live in? I think at the time my emotions were kind of up and down, and I had to pause and say, what is my self-image? What is the role of my self-image in this? Am I living in my own eyes, or am I living in the perceived eyes of my father or an ex-partner or the eyes of the world? And I wanted to get clear, and I wanted to really know deep down, what does it mean to really see? What is the vision in which I live my best life? And this wasn't deep in prayer or meditation. I think I was watching Family Guy eating a burrito. And I just forgot about it. And this is part of the creative process too. Our little mind, what we often call the ego mind, our controlling mind, it can articulate these questions, but then it forgets and lets them go. And this thing in the creative process called incubation happens. It's where the little mind lets go and the big mind takes over. And it gets to work to answering our questions. It's that amazing and it's that magnificent. So I forget all about it, and I go out to a bar the following Friday, and I meet this character, Neil, from Ireland. He could have been out of Lord of the Rings or something. And you are starting or already on an adventure when you meet a character. And this character shared many interesting tidbits with me, but one of the things that was most profound is he shared that his favorite book in the world is a book called The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. It was written in the 80s. It's set in the 1960s in war-torn Prague, and it's about these four individuals who express the unbearable lightness of being. And what is the unbearable lightness of being? It's that recognition that the most important aspects of life, even when the world seems to be falling apart around you, are those moments of laughter, those moments of romance and love, those moments of play and connection. To recognize that is to embody the unbearable lightness of being. So the book, I'd heard of it, sounds magnificent, note to self, buy this book, totally forgot it again. The next week, I get a book in the mail from a friend, and it's not The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera, but on the very first page is a quote from The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. Oh, there it is again. 2 nights later, I'm at a restaurant, and I pick up the menu, ready to order food, and you know what it says right over the top? The Unbearable Lightness of Being. Must have been a new diet menu. I don't know why it was there, but it was. And then it puts, and maybe you've had this experience too, I call it a spiritual uncle, right? A spiritual uncle where the universe is kind of bending your shoulder, and the next thing that's going to come is a 2x4 with the unbearable lightness of being written on it, if I don't stop and buy this book. So I say uncle. I give to spirit. I order the book. It comes just in the nick of time for a flight I'm taking to New York City, and I'm able to read it on the plane ride there. And it's an incredible book, filled with great stories and philosophy. And what happens is I get to this passage in the middle, and all of a sudden, everything gets brighter, and I realize the reason I've been called to this book is because that question I had asked many weeks before, whose eyes do I live in? And the book shares this: we all need someone to look at us. We can be divided into 4 categories according to the kind of look we wish to live under. The first category longs for the look of an infinite number of anonymous eyes. In other words, for the look of the public. The second category is made up of people who have a vital need to be looked at by many known eyes. They are the tireless hosts of cocktail parties and dinners. Then there is the third category, the category of people who need to be constantly before the eyes of the person they love. Their situation is dangerous as the situation of people in the first category. One day the eyes of their beloved will close and the room will go dark. And finally, there's the fourth category, the rarest, the category of people who live in the imaginary eyes of those who are not present. They are the dreamers. And I'm not here to give a metaphysical explanation of that quote, but to say that it set me off on the formation of my own spiritual philosophy around that question of whose eyes do I live in? And it inspired me to realize that for me, there are 3 ways that people can see you. There are those who see you for who they want you to be. This can be good, this can be bad. Then there are those people who see you for who you've been. This can be good, or this can be bad. But then there's a third category, the people who see you for who you are becoming. These are the most essential and important pairs of eyes in your life. And for ourselves, when we can, yes, see people for who we want them to be and see them for who they've been, but if we want a truly transformational relationship with somebody, we want to begin to see them for who they are becoming, for who they say they want to be. And it helped me to realize that the divine, God, sees us in this way, for who we are becoming, the whole damn acorn. always holding a vision for our wholeness that if we could just choose to live in it, would bear the greatest fruits of those wholeness and of that becoming in our lives. The soul's curriculum. It's got its own thing going, but if we listen and if we ask our questions with clarity, it reveals to us the deepest of our divine truths and encourages us in our greatest and most thorough becoming. The soul's curriculum is our theme today. We're starting a kind of loose theme for many of our talks in the summer today called Summer School for the Soul. How does that sound? A little bit of summer school for our souls. And if you were here at the first Sunday of the year, I shared with you that many of us are already enrolled in a school. It's a philosophical school called the School of Hard Knocks. Anyone attending that school currently? I have at times been the valedictorian of the School of Hard Knocks. And here is what the School of Hard Knocks teaches us. Let's take a look at it. Life is unfair. Life has zero concern for me as an individual. I am broken. There is something wrong with me that will never be fixed. There is not enough. Survival of the fittest. Happiness, love, joy, and especially spirituality are all coping mechanisms. And most important, let's say this one together. Life sucks and we're all suckers. Now there's validity to the School of Hard Knocks. I could defend this school of thinking and have a lot of evidence for it. A lot of us are still regularly enrolled there. What I want to point out is that there's more than that there's something else. And when we embrace this idea of a soul's curriculum, we can graduate from the School of Hard Knocks and enroll in Soul University. Soul University, which may, when we look at this list, look a little woo-woo and little foo-foo. In order to enroll, it takes immense courage, immense boldness, an immense ability to let go of life as you've told yourself and been told that it is, to step into the miracle of what it wants to tell you about what it is. Some tenets of Soul University: life is a blessing. Life not only knows who I am, but it seeks to remind me. I am whole. I am a perfect child of God. There is enough. I am here to thrive. Spirituality is the key to living a whole and meaningful life. And let's say this last one together. Life is a miracle, and I am a part of it. You are a miracle as well. You have everything you need in order to be your best self. There is nothing missing. With Summer School for the Soul, we have the opportunity right here and right now to enroll in our soul studies. What does your soul want to learn and embody in relationship with your becoming? What course might you want to enroll in? Living in the now, deepening in trust, learning to receive, true forgiveness. Anyone else have one? Letting go. Being present. Speaking your truth. Ooh, that's a good one. Letting go of fear. There are so many courses we can enter in, and I invite you not to take a full load. But just to take some time and set that intention. What do I really want to learn this summer? What do I want to greater embody? Who is it that I'm becoming? And can I feel a sense of that now so I can align with who that is, so I can start bringing it forward into my everyday life? And I want to share just a few tenets of the soul's curriculum to let you know that the answering to your questions and your becoming is in motion, that the universe is indeed working for you. And the first, we've all heard this before, is that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. How many of us honestly really believe that in our lives? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Yoda is going to show up. Isn't that miraculous? Isn't it an amazing thing to look back at your life and to say the moment you got an inkling of who it was that you were becoming, even if it wasn't something that was conscious, but it came through a song or through seeing someone being a teacher, all of a sudden the exact right persons or people showed up for you to help initiate you into who it was that you were going to become. I remember a little note I got from my 7th grade English teacher, and she said, "Josh, I'm just so interested to see how you turn out in 20 years." It was a simple statement, but it helped me realize that I could make my own path. That life wasn't about choosing the paths that were available to me. It was about making my own. It meant all the difference. Think about those individuals who have been demonstrated for you at that perfect right time for your becoming. I want to share just one of those people with you this morning. Her name was Barbara Charlwood. I talked about her briefly a couple years ago when she passed away. This is her in 2019 meeting Nancy June when she was just a few months old. Whenever a new baby was born, she would always say, "My new teacher, my new teacher." And I met Barbara when she was 80 years old in 2004. It was the first ever accredited Science of Mind class I taught. I taught it in Seal Beach. This was years before I became the senior minister there. And Barbara just took a liking to me. And she'd call me on the phone afterwards. And she'd check in and see how I was doing as I was moving early through ministry with failures and ups and downs and all over. She would always send me books. And she wouldn't just send books, but she would highlight and mark the areas that she wanted me to read. Do you ever have anyone like that in your life? And so you wonder, why did Barbara give me this following statement from Tian Dayton? "Attempting to control the outcome of events sets me up for disappointment." Thank you, Barbara. "It makes me want to manage people and events so that they will not do anything that threatens my idea of how things ought to go. When I attempt to manipulate and manage people, I set up a tension in the dynamic between us. I make the event as I see it in my mind more important than the people who are participating in it. I drain myself, others, and situations of their spontaneity, which inhibits all of our connections with spirit and soul. Creativity and spontaneity need to flow freely in and out of reality of time and space so that they can breathe life and energy on to the stage of life." You know, as a young man in my 20s, I formed the story in my mind that I was a good boy who was supporting this nice old lady. I would listen to her, I would give her attention, I would share with her, I would pick her up and take her to classes when she couldn't drive anymore. But looking back now, I realized that I had my greatest teacher in how to be a minister. That I had set this intention to become a minister, and the person I demonstrated was someone who was 80 years old and grown up in churches all her life, who probably could have been a minister herself, but because of her gender did not have the same opportunities that I had in that moment. And she had worked and supported ministers for decades, and so she knew everything there was to know about how to run and not run a spiritual community. So she taught me that spiritual community runs not on control, but trust. She taught me that it never serves you to be someone that you're not, to always be who you are. She taught me to always have the patience to not see everything as a reflection on yourself, but to seek to be the best representative of your community that you can. Still learning all those lessons now, but boy, did her teachings to me sure saved me a lot of pain and sorrow along the way. Barbara was incredibly funny. She would always leave messages hoping my soon-to-be spouse, April, would listen to them. "Josh, this is the other woman in your life. I don't know why you're not calling me back." One time she invited me to a very fancy restaurant. I didn't know why. And we've ordered our very expensive meals, and we're waiting for them to come. And she says, "Josh, do you need to use the restroom?" And that's a strange question to ask, but I happen to need to heed that call. And so I went to the restroom, and I came back, and things are quiet for a while. And she just starts giggling. And she says, "Did you see it? Did you see it?" And I said, "What?" She said, "The sign on the wall." And yes, I had seen it, and here it is. Let's say it together. Men to the left, because women are always right. She always got a kick of that. Have to say it out loud for those listening on our podcast. Who would be your one person today that you would think about the impact that they had on your life? I have a theory, it sounds a little strange, that your life is the greatest story ever told. if we would only give it the reverent attention that it needs, it would reveal to us all of the support that we've received all along and open our heart to receive that new support that we may be calling for. So when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Second, watch out for spiritual sleight of hand. You know what I mean by that? I'll explain. Spiritual sleight of hand. See, we've got this thing called a little mind. I definitely do. And it loves to live in the illusion that it's right. And it thinks it knows exactly what I want and what I need. And so the big mind that little mind releases ideas into is much smarter than my little mind. And yet it has to work and sometimes twist things around to trick my little mind into following the right path so I can learn what I'm meant to learn and become who I'm meant to become. And I call that process a spiritual sleight of hand. Perhaps you've heard of the story of the woman from North Carolina who met the man of her dreams, who lived in LA, moved in with him, and he dumped her 2 weeks later. Only to 2 weeks later find the job of her dreams, meet her best friends for life who would introduce her to the next man of her dreams. And one of the things about life is we can sometimes get so caught up in the little mind stories about the dramas that do harm and hurt us over time that we forget what the big mind has working for us and is trying to lead us to. Early in my ministry, as many of you know, I had some failures. And I was down. I had a crisis of faith. I was broke. And I met a minister who was a wonderful minister, had a very successful congregation. And they shared with me that they were thinking of retiring. And this would be a great opportunity for me to come and be their assistant minister and maybe take over the pulpit. And you see, my little mind was so egotistical at the time that it probably wouldn't have taken an assistant minister's position. So I said yes, and in about 2 months, either this person realized I was not the right next senior minister for them, but I think more than likely they realized they just needed someone like me working there so that they could focus more on what they wanted to do, and they're still a thriving minister today. But the first instinct for me from that little mind was to be so mad about that, so engrossed in the drama about that. But when I step back and see it from that more panoramic view, I see how much healing I went through during that time. I got back to my practice. I took better care of my body. I had money in my savings account again. That time was so instrumental in preparing me to step into ministry in a greater way. And so that story, as much as it made me angry at the time, I'm so grateful for that spiritual sleight of hand that led me somewhere I wouldn't have gone consciously, that gave me everything that I needed to grow. So watch out for those spiritual sleights of hand. Lastly, this is a little complex, but it's the idea that we have everything we need. We have everything we need. See, when we get caught up in these attachments to dramas, the things that didn't work out our way, without realizing they maybe were in our best soul's interest, we lose touch with the soul's curriculum in our life. We begin to think something has wronged us and is keeping us from growing. The great Carl Jung, he put it this way, a little long, so bear with me though. I have frequently seen people become neurotic when they content themselves with inadequate or wrong answers to the questions of life. They seek position, marriage, reputation, outward success, or money, and remain unhappy and neurotic even when they have attained what they are seeking. Such people are usually confined within too narrow a spiritual horizon. Their life has not sufficient content, sufficient meaning. If they are enabled to develop into more spacious personalities, the neurosis generally disappears. For that reason, the idea of development was always of the highest importance to me. In other words, that commitment to the soul's curriculum broadens our horizons so that we can develop and meet the needs that our life is calling for us to fulfill. But we have to let go of the attachment to the dramas to fulfill it. And we also have to let go of this idea that something is missing. That's the soul's teaching to us, is that it was all right there, all along. It doesn't mean there's not more to come in your life, more relationships, more epiphanies. But the whole thing is always perfect for each one of us to learn and embody the truth of who we are. T.S. Eliot, in an epic poem called The Four Quartets, he has all these ideas that speak to that. He says things like, "In my beginning is my end," or "Home is where one starts from. As we grow older, the world becomes stranger, the pattern more complicated." Or, "What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from." So many of us have lived so long thinking that something is missing or absent from our life that we haven't accepted the fullness of the layers of relationship and wisdom, the layers of understanding and opportunity that have always been there. We just have to look at what is. As many of you know, I'm a huge fan of the James Webb Telescope. I think it's one of the greatest things humankind has created. People from a multiple number of countries contributed to it. We took this big machine and we put it further out in outer space than anything has ever been, and it's bringing us pictures and images of things that we have never seen before, and it's giving us potential answers to the greatest questions of life. It's an amazing thing, and it shows us images like the following, and it's an amazing thing to remember that what we're looking at is not the present, but our past, our far and distant past. That when we look at an image like this, we're not seeing necessarily just where we are going, but where we came from. To stare at that image and read a little bit more from Eliot today. "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. Through the unknown remembered gate, when the last of earth left to discover is that which was the beginning. At the source of the longest river, the voice of the hidden waterfall and the children in the apple tree. Not known because not looked for, but heard, half heard in the stillness between two waves of the sea. Quick, now, here, now, always, a condition of complete simplicity, costing not less than everything. And all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well, when the tongues of flame are enfolded into the crowned knot of fire, and the fire and the rose are one." The soul's curriculum is to look at an image like that and to realize you're looking in a mirror, to realize that there's a cosmos that surrounds us and a cosmos that is within us. And so I invite you sometime today, sometime this week, to have a little talk with the universe, to get some paper and some pen, even some crayons, and to write out what it is that you really want to experience, know, and learn. And what you'll articulate is not only who you are becoming, but who the universe is calling you to be. So moving into an affirmative prayer, I just invite any of our beautiful practitioner prayer partners who are in the room to stand with me, knowing that we are holding in consciousness every member of our community here or online, and do know that these incredible practitioners are available for an affirmative prayer after service today. But becoming aware of our relationship with this thing called universe, that some of us call infinite intelligence, some of us call God, some of us call spirit. May it never feel like something alien, unknown, or out of bounds. But may our relationship with the universe feel so intimate that we could reveal the whole of ourselves and fully embrace whatever it may reveal to us about itself. In this deepest relationship, our relationship with the infinite itself, are the whisperings of experience, the synchronicity of divine appointments, the stillness, the wordlessness, that reminds us that all is well because there is a part of us that rests and lives and moves and has its being at the dawn of all creation. Knowing our truth in relationship with the infinite, I know that its byproduct in our life is greater healing, greater prosperity, greater meaning and depth, greater coherence, resonance, and the ability to live a relevant, empowered lives. Knowing that as we choose to do this for ourselves, the magic of that is that it inspires people we love and people around us as well. Knowing that we are one life, one community, one people, may we commit to living that best life possible, remembering indeed that we have everything we need to be the best who we are. I have everything I need to be the best who I am. Let's get to being just that. and so it is. Amen.
Take all I am. Take all I am. For I am yours forever and ever. Take all I am. Take all I have. For I am yours forever. So come write your name in the clay. Come sign your name on the picture. Come write your name in the clay. Come sign your name on the picture.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Randy. I want to thank and acknowledge the almost 400 people that are watching us live on YouTube or Facebook or however you're watching us. And greetings to those in New Mexico, Maine, Germany, Kenya, Japan. I know we have people that watch us every week in Nebraska, Minnesota, California. So we honor you. We don't see you, but we feel you and acknowledge your presence. Thank you for being a part of Mile High Church online and here in the Teal Sanctuary as we move into this time of offering. Thanks for all that you do to financially support Mile High Church. I mentioned that beautiful crown jewel of our youth and family ministry. Your giving goes to support that. This amazing music ministry that we have, your giving goes to support that. Keeping these beautiful facilities in shape, your money goes to support that. So just know that it's well invested and well used, and we are so grateful that you choose to share your abundance with us, however you choose to do that. But we can take our gifts and bless them together. There's an offering message we can all say. Mine is in here somewhere. There it is. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. And so it is.
Here at middle age, I'm still looking for a dream. A war is already waged for my destiny. But you've already won the battle and you got great plans for me. Though I can't always see, 'cause I got a couple dents in my fender, I got a couple rips in my jeans, trying to put the pieces together, 'cause perfection is my enemy, and on my own I'm so clumsy, but on your shoulders I can see I'm free to be me. When I was just a girl, I thought I had it figured out. See, my life would turn out right, and I'd make it here somehow. But things don't always come that easy. Sometimes I would down, 'cause I got a couple dents in my fender, I got a couple rips in my jeans, trying to fit the pieces together, but perfection is my enemy, and on my own I'm so clumsy, but on your shoulders I can see I'm free to be me. You're free to be Sometimes I believe that I can't do anything, yet other times I think I got nothing good to bring. But you look at my heart and you tell me that I got all you seek. Oh, and it's easy to believe, even though I got a couple dents in my fender, I got a couple rips in my jeans, trying to fit the pieces together, 'cause perfection is my enemy, and on my own I'm so clumsy, but on your shoulders I can see. I got a couple dents in my fender, got a couple rips in my jeans, trying to fit the pieces together, 'cause perfection is my enemy, and on my own I'm so clumsy, but on your shoulders I can see. I'm free to be me, and you're free to be
Thank you, Jennifer Burnett, Mile High Band. We get to do something we haven't really gotten to do here before, so I'm so excited about it. We're going to honor the teachers of our Children's Enrichment Center, the preschool that we have here on campus. We don't normally get to do it because although we are so grateful to have a preschool here on our campus at Mile High Church, it's still an independent entity as well. And so to be able to have the staff here, who I'm going to call up on the stage, is a real treat. And our youth church was willing today to be outside so that these preschool teachers could create their environments and rooms for you to explore. And that's what the Children's Enrichment Center does. It creates environments of becoming for our kids. They create these environments for play, for love and connection, and even having a recent graduate from the preschool. What I know is that those little bits of becoming that happen early in their life here are so fundamental to their successful life later. And it's this staff that helps accomplish that. Come on, get up here. Don't be shy. And so I want to acknowledge them today. Beginning with their incredible director, April Reeves. Our assistant director and a lead teacher as well, Angela McLean. So grateful for Francine Alvarado, Sandy Smith, Louisa Petrovich, Michelle Bailey, Nicole Higgins. We're also so grateful for all those who worked in all sorts of ways with them this year. We're grateful to Jane Carlson, Tina Carson, Beth Hungerford, and Katie Muir. It is stunning, the work that each of you does and the heart that you bring each and every day to witness a little bit of how hard you work to help uplift these children into their highest and best. It's just a work of spirit that is hard to put into words. So let's hear it for them one more time. The donuts are outside the preschool, so they are there to lure you in. And this is about awareness, but they are receiving donations. Your donations help fund the school, and we're just so grateful for them. Thank you again, April and team, so very much. We want you to know as well that Healing Light service is tonight at 5 p.m. with Reverend Linda. And our Works of Heart store is sponsoring a book study, and I get to do the next one. It starts Thursday at 11 a.m. It's on a book by Maria Tatar called The Heroine with 1,001 Faces, and it's about the female voice. So a superficial way would say that Rev Josh tries to mansplain the history of the women's voice through history, but really what I'm hoping to do is to create a space of deep listening for the voice of the feminine divine throughout history and how we can better embody it in our lives now. So I'm looking forward to doing that too. Don't forget Dacker Keltner is coming here November 1st. With that, if you'd like to stand or take a hand, we're going to say a benediction before we do the peace song. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, body, and all that I do. I give thanks for it, and I accept it. Just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life.